This week on Channel 8 News, we took a look at Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, Denim Day, City Council elections, House of Pancakes, and more. Channel 8 News starts right now. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 8 News. I'm Alex Sanchez.
And I'm Shannon Clement.
Mitch Bomber got to walk a mile in her shoes. Mitch?
At the Bell Tower on Wednesday, April the 4th, there was a special event put on by Greek called the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes.
So this is our Walk a Mile. It's Walk a Mile in Their Shoes. It's to raise awareness about sexual assault, domestic violence, just anything that kind of deals with that nature. We partner up with the Children and Family Center of Northwest. They've been really supportive of us as we are with them.
With this event, the men would have to wear high heels and walk a mile, and they would walk in a giant circle around Colden Hall, where they would walk down on University Drive and turn on College Avenue, then turn in front of the flagpoles and walk through the Union and go up the stairs, and then they're done.
I think it's important because although we're kind of aware of it, it never really gets brought into the forefront of conversation. It's nice to have it's a community event, but a lot of times we see a lot of the Greek partnerships show and come their support, which is kind of nice because a lot of times you don't see a complete Greek unity event all the time, or it's kind of nice just seeing all the support. So I think it's really important just to have people come out and support the unfortunate events of sexual assault and rape and domestic violence.
There are lots of men that came to pay to be a part of this event.
Today I think we had about 40. I know we're registered, but I know we had plenty of guys show up and just register at the event. So I'd say placing it between 40 and 50 guys, roughly. So we do a $10 registration fee, and all that actually goes to the Children and Family Center. They were here early, they did a little talk, so all that money we raise will go to them and whatever they need it for.
With an annual event like this one, you can believe that this is an event that people look forward to every year.
We typically do this event once a year, typically in the spring semester around the Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is that April. So we try to get it in this week of April. Sometimes with the weather, it can kind of change, but luckily it warmed up a little bit, so once a year typically. It's a nice way to bring everyone together, support a group, just kind of show everyone support, and it's kind of nice seeing the good turnout we had today. The weather brightened up, so I think just overall just recapturing it all is just good cause, good event. Got it all worked out.
With such terrible things such as abuse and sexual assault, it is important to realize that you are never alone and help is only a phone call away. Reporting for Channel 8 News, I'm Mitch Bomberger.
Thanks, Mitch. When we come back, we'll take a look at your Northwest event report. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Shannon Clement.
And I'm Alex Sanchez. And this is your Northwest event report.
On Monday, April 9th through Saturday, April 14th, send a Snapchat to @NW Green Dot explaining why you care about Green Dot and violence prevention. A green dot represents a moment when an individual uses words, behaviors, or actions to stop a harmful action, or red dot. A green dot may be created from an action as simple as providing someone a safe ride home or checking in with a friend because of an uncomfortable situation. Send your snaps for a chance to win a Starbucks gift card.
On Monday, April 9th at 10 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m. in the Union Ballroom, Joint Career Services invites you to sit down and participate in the job offer. It's more than just a salary. Career Services will share pointers on how to better understand and evaluate employment offers. This event is free for Northwest students and employees.
On Monday, April 9th, beginning at noon at the Memorial Bell Tower, join the campus community for a silent observance for victims of sexual assault. This is part of Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
On Wednesday, April 11th from 1 to 2 p.m. in the Union Meeting Room D on the 3rd floor, come learn how to find an internship. This event will help you clarified your goals and organized a search strategy that meets your needs. Find out about resources, events, and Northwest academic credit internship process and more. There's no need to pre-register.
On Wednesday, April 11th, from 2:30 to 4 p.m. in the Library Lounge, Room 108, join students, faculty, and staff from across campus in an informal setting to actively engage and interact with each other in an international coffee hour.
On Wednesday, April 11th, from 5 to 6 p.m. in the Student Senate office of the second floor of the Union, visit the Green Dot Care Social to meet members of CARE, which is an organization that promotes healthy relationships and violence prevention.
On Wednesday, April 11th, from 6 to 6:30 p.m. at the Bell of 48, the members of Alpha Sigma Alpha will host a moment of silence and small balloon release to remember all of the lives that have been taken by drunk driving. The parents of Abby Cockrell, who was a member of Alpha Sigma Alpha that passed away in 2010 due to a drunk driving accident, will speak shortly about how this has impacted their lives as grieving parents.
Also on Wednesday, April 11th, from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. in Colden Hall 3500, the College Republicans and Young Democrats are teaming up to host a panel discussion on the topic of gun control.
On Thursday, April 12th, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Brown Education Hall, Horace Mann students in grades K through 6 participate in STEM activities. STEM activities are facilitated by Northwest students in various departments and schools on campus. Mad Science of Kansas City will present a program in the afternoon.
On Thursday, April 12th, from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Centennial Garden, come out and celebrate student employees and graduate assistants as part of National Student Employment Week. The Office of Human Resources, Aramark Campus Dining, Barnes & Noble Bookstore, and the Graduate Office honor all student employees, graduate assistants, and supervisors. Refreshments and prizes will be available. Feel free to come out and go as you please during the celebration.
On Thursday, April 12th, from 7 to 9 p.m. in the Union Living Room, all students, faculty, and staff are invited to perform. Instruments, vocalists, readings, poetry, and more are encouraged. Contact Mike Maddock at 660-562-1348 or maddock@nwmissouri.edu to sign up, or you can also sign up when you arrive. Priority will be given to performers who sign up prior to the event. All are welcome to come and listen. Snacks will be provided.
On Thursday, April 12th, beginning at 7:30 in the Union Tower View Room, Northwest Visiting Writers Series concludes with Peter Connors, who is a publisher and writer of nonfiction and poetry. Connors is an author of 9 books of nonfiction, fiction, and poetry, and he has edited dozens of volumes of poetry and prose. The Visiting Writers Series is designed to promote creativity, diversity, and freedom of expression as a living and meaningful art form that provides its audience with a better understanding of people in the world.
On Friday, April 13th, from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., Northwest's New Venture Competition brings together current and aspiring entrepreneurs and small business owners for this networking opportunity and competition. This event includes a keynote speaker, Holly Murphy Barstow, who is the owner and president of Barstow & Company, LLC in Omaha. Registration begins at 8 a.m. and the competition concludes with the announcement of the winning teams around 3:30. For more information and to register, visit www.nwmissouri.edu/business/NVPC.
On April 13th from 4 to 4:30 p.m. at the Memorial Bell Tower, the Tower King and Queen program is organized each spring by the Blue Key and Cardinal Key Honor Societies to recognize Northwest students who excel academically while exhibiting high involvement at Northwest and the Maryville community. Campus organizations can nominate 1 king and 1 queen, who then participate in an application process resulting in the selection of candidates to fill the Tower court. The king and queen are then selected by the student body.
On Friday, April 13th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. in the Union Boardroom, as part of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, come sit in on a panel discussion that features representatives of the Maryville Children and Family Center and victims of domestic and sexual abuse, sharing their stories and journeys to healing.
On Saturday, April 14th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Union Ballroom, Northwest hosts the Growth Native Plant Marketing and Education Program. The workshop will include exhibits and plant sales, as well as 6 speakers addressing a variety of topics including pollinators, garden design and maintenance, native trees and shrubs, and soil health and edibles. The cost to attend is $40 for the public, $30 for Grow Native and Missouri Prairie Foundation members, and $20 for students with a valid student ID. The cost includes a light breakfast and lunch.
On Saturday, April 14th, from 1 to 5 p.m., learn realistic ways to interrupt violence as a bystander. Plus, add to your resume with this Green Dot student certification class. Register yourself or recommend someone else at www.nwmissouri.edu/greendot.
Well, that's all for your Northwest Event Report. When we come back, we'll take a look at some more recent news and events.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Shannon Clement.
And I'm Alex Sanchez.
Molly Gardner got the inside scoop of what Denim Day was all about. Molly?
On Wednesday, April 4th, Northwest celebrated Denim Day. Violence coordinator for Green Dot, Danielle Kuhns, says that Denim Day has an interesting backstory.
Denim Day is actually something that started in the 1990s. There was a court in Italy where the judge ruled that a woman who was assaulted by her driving instructor technically could not have been assaulted because her jeans were so tight. So some victim blaming mentality going on there in terms of consent. So after that, there were protests. People wore denim in protest to stand in solidarity with the victim. Since that protest, the decision was reversed and changed, but we still do Denim Day events throughout, all sorts of campuses, including Northwest, just to stand up against victim blaming and to support survivors.
Kuntz adds there is a lot you can do to show your support for victims of assault.
Really just by wearing denim, sharing it on social media, wearing a pin, talking to people about it, having conversations about why victim blaming is bad and how we can avoid that. Sharing on social media with the hashtag #NWDenimDay, really sharing that on social media so other people can see it. I hope that other people see folks wearing pins today, knowing that they're not alone if they are survivors themselves, if they are bystanders and have wanted to intervene, knowing that other people who have that, that visible display, seeing that around campus is really reinforcing in terms of knowing that other people will want to do something just like you to intervene.
Kuntz also says with it being Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Northwest is putting on a lot of different activities to show solidarity.
Actually has a lot of other events going on for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is April. So there's a lot of other things going on this month, and so we didn't want to take away from some of the other things happening. We have a Green Dot bystander training coming up on Saturday, April 14th. It's just from 1 to 5 p.m., so 4-hour training. If anyone is interested in learning how to intervene as a bystander in realistic ways that will work for them, they can sign up for that training.
Throughout the week of April 9th, Title IX will be putting on multiple activities to show awareness for sexual assault. For a list of full activities, check out the Northwest calendar. Reporting for Channel 8 News, I'm Molly Gardner.
Thanks, Molly. Well, when we come back, we'll take a look at some national headlines. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Alex Sanchez.
And I'm Shannon Clement.
Last Wednesday, we took the time to remember Martin Luther King Jr. on the day he was assassinated 50 years ago at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. Reverend Jesse Jackson and former Ambassador Andrew Young were there on that day. They shared memories and little-known details about the day with our CNN affiliate, Victor Blackwell. Let's take a look.
Does it feel like it's been 50 years?
Feels like it was yesterday.
It was April 4th, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee. Before Andrew Young was an ambassador to the world, before Jesse Jackson became a reverend and a groundbreaking political figure. They were two young men dedicated to the cause of equality, led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and it was a chilly Thursday afternoon at the Lorraine Motel.
I was talking to him, telling him he needed a coat, and he sort of raised his head to kind of test the weather, and pow.
A single shot to his chin, and King was dead. He was 39 years old. Now, a half-century later, Young and Jackson returned to the very spot where their friend and leader was assassinated.
His shoes got caught under here, and it knocked him out of his shoes.
A photographer who was staying 3 rooms down snapped this iconic image as King lay dying.
Now, we were pointing over there because the police were here. They were running over this way, and we were trying to tell them to go back that way. That's where the shot came from.
Do you think he heard the shot?
I don't think he heard the shot or felt it. I think it was a beautiful death. My first reaction was to be mad, and the second reaction was to say, well, if anybody is entitled to a reward, you have sure earned it. And, you know, take your flight to heaven.
Young went on to serve as congressman, as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, and as mayor of Atlanta. Jackson continued social and political activism and ran for president twice.
Every move I made, whether it was a demonstration or running for the presidency, I always felt his spirit, and some way I touched base with him before doing it.
Jackson, now 76, and Young, 86, say King did not fear death. And even as they stand on the balcony that was once stained with King's blood, they're convinced that he will never die.
I've been to 152 countries. I've never been anywhere where people have wanted to ask me about Martin Luther King.
If he'd be 89 years old, he'd be just an old preacher who preached great sermons. His martyrdom is power. His spirit is alive.
Victor Blackwell, CNN, Memphis.
Martin Luther King Jr. was a prominent leader of the civil rights movement and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate who was known for his use of nonviolence and civil disobedience. His memory continues to live on.
A schoolyard battle is brewing in Oklahoma, with teachers continuing to be on strike. Teachers call for more funding that the Sooner State has yet to agree to give out. These teachers are fighting for a better school for students. Last week, lawmakers approved a pay increase after teachers threatened to walk out, but teachers said it wasn't enough. Our CNN affiliate has the story. Let's take a look.
Educators in Oklahoma are some of the lowest paid in the country, some working 2 or 3 jobs outside the classroom just to pay the bills.
Well, I actually hold several jobs. I work as an event coordinator and member management at an event venue. I drive for Postmates, which is a delivery service. I'm also a surrogate.
Teachers in Oklahoma and Kentucky held walkouts Monday, protesting low wages and cuts to education funding.
This is not the exception. This is the rule. Teachers are working several jobs.
But it's not just about pay. In Oklahoma, the state's teachers union says that school funding has been cut by 28% in the last decade, which means the burden of making sure the classroom has enough supplies falls back on the underpaid teacher. Oklahoma state legislators did approve a $6,100 raise last week in response to teachers' complaints. But for those protesting, it's only the beginning. And in Kentucky, teachers marched to the state capitol after controversial pension changes were tacked onto a sewage bill.
I'm a first-year teacher. I've already spent a couple $1,000s on my classroom, taking care of my kids. If I can do it, they can find funding.
Protesters in both states are encouraged by the success of a recent 9-day shutdown in West Virginia. Teachers there eventually walked victoriously back to the classroom with a 5% raise. I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
We will try to keep you updated as more news is to come.
Oklahoma isn't the only state that wants more money for schooling. The Student Occupation of Administration building at Howard University in Washington, D.C. was in its 7th day last Wednesday when demonstrators drawing inspiration from the historically black college's history protests in their sitting over misappropriated financial aid funds. The protest started after an investigation found last year that some university employees were receiving grants from the school to attend classes while also receiving tuition remission. The several hundreds of students sitting in on the protest have 10 demands. 2 have been made, but they refuse to leave until all 10 are made, including housing and more.
A Phoenix mom allegedly used a touch taser to get her teenage son up for church service on Easter Sunday. Phoenix police report that 40-year-old Sharon Dobbins tasered her son on the leg. Dobbins was arrested at her home. Dobbins believes she didn't do anything wrong because in her house you put God first, and that's what she was trying to tell her kids to do. Dobbins denies tasing her son in the leg. The boy was not injured, but had 2 small bumps on his leg where he says the taser was used. Dobbins will held back to court on April 16th, facing charges of child abuse. In the meantime, her son is staying with relatives.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week.
For more information on stories that matter to you, like us on Facebook at /KNWT8 or follow us on Twitter at KNWT8News.
Northwest Sessions is up next. From all of us here at Channel 8 News, I'm Alex Sanchez.
And I'm Shannon Clement. Have a good night.